Killing the Dead. By Richard Murray. Copyright 2014 Richard Murray. All rights reserved. All characters are a work of fiction. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. Chapter 1. My knife plunged, meeting only minimal resistance as it slid deep into the man's chest and through his heart. A wave of exultation moved through me, a pleasure greater than any intoxicant or any night of joy with a willing woman. For a short time the darkness that wreathed my soul would lift and I would feel wholly alive and real. As I stood alongside the table firmly grasping the knife, the seconds ticked by. I was determined to hold on to the feeling as long as possible. The pleasure all too soon began to fade and I loosened my grip. My body shook as the adrenaline left my system. It would be a short while now before the urge would come again. A few weeks, a month or more, and my mood would darken. The urge would come, the need for violence and pain. That need for death. For the moment, though I was sated, my eyes opened to the dim light of the cluttered cellar concealed beneath my home. It was hardly an ideal place to practice my hobby, but needs must. It would hardly be possible to wander around outside at the moment, not in these unsettled times. Too many people watching out of their windows, too many police patrolling the streets determined to keep order. I reached for the knife and pulled it slowly out of the man's chest. I never had learned his name. I stepped over to the workbench that ran along the back of the cellar. It was piled high with odds and ends and covered in dust. Now the bench held the case in which I kept the tools my hobby required. In an untidy heap next to this case were my victim's belongings. I used his shirt to carefully wipe the blood off of my knife. Then I took a moment to go through his pockets looking for a wallet. His lack of name was irksome. We had just shared the most intimate experience and I felt that he deserved to have his name known. His pockets contained the usual items that people seemed to acquire as they moved through life, along with a key ring that held half a dozen keys in a variety of shapes in a trim brown wallet. Within this wallet was a small amount of money, a number of credit cards and his driver's license. I had to move to stand directly beneath the single light bulb hanging from the ceiling just to be able to make out the name. Josh Taylor. At last I had a name for my deceased companion. I spoke the name aloud as I savored the taste of it upon my tongue.